matter what your desires are, those desires exist within you for a reason. Because you are meant to receive them. Don't doubt that. There's this outdated belief floating around that we need to struggle and suffer in order to be successful. And I'm here to tell you that that is simply not true. I find this topic so fascinating to talk about because on one hand, we all say we want happiness, peace, joy, yet so often we catch ourselves making choices that lead us in the opposite direction. And I've been there myself. For the longest time, I had the toxic habit of constantly choosing chaos and stress. And while that might sound crazy, it actually made sense in a totally twisted way. When my life finally felt calm, stable, and normal, I found myself feeling bored. The same thing happened when kind, genuine people came into my life. There was no spark, no butterflies, so I'd push them away or sabotage the connection and end up choosing relationships that weren't good for me at all. Sadly, so many of us have become addicted to the noise, the drama, and the emotional roller coaster that we don't even realize we're making choices that block our own manifestations, happiness, peace, over and over again. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, because in this video, I'm breaking down the things that you need to stop doing, habits and patterns that are quietly blocking your manifestations. Once I figured this out, it completely changed everything for me, and I know it can do the same for you. It's time to let go of what feels familiar but unhealthy and step into becoming the most peaceful, happiest, and most secure version of yourself. That's where your desires start flowing in effortlessly. Before we dive in, make sure you check the links down below. I've got the ultimate guide to resetting your life, rewiring your subconscious mindset, manifesting meditations, and vision boards. All the tools you need to practice true self-love daily and create a life that you love. There are a few things that lower our vibration and block us from manifesting the life that we want. And at the very top of the list is limiting beliefs. So let's start with limiting beliefs. These are the subconscious stories that we tell ourselves about what we can and cannot have and what we do and don't deserve. And when I talk to people, eventually I'm able to see and they show me without even telling me their limiting beliefs. For example, someone might believe that people who are too wealthy or successful aren't good people, or that after a certain point, money becomes evil. If you hold on to that belief, even subconsciously, you're going to hit an internal ceiling. You might reach a certain level of success, and suddenly things start to fall apart. Not because you are not capable, but because deep down, there's a belief that says, I don't deserve to have more than this. And so you unknowingly start sabotaging your own success. So let's say, for example, you have a business and you have been stuck at the same number for years, unable to grow beyond that, and it feels stagnant. And I want you to ask yourself one simple question. What is it about your business that you do not like? And one thing could be social media, the content creation for social media, or managing employees. It may be exhausting managing employees, hiring, letting go, because they feel entitled or they drain you. So let's say you're trying to close a deal with a client or an influencer, one that could bring you 6 figures in the blink of an eye. Do you realize that a part of you is hoping that that deal doesn't go through with the influencer? Because if they say yes, that means you are gonna have to hire more staff to hold the orders for your business. And you already believe that your employees are a headache to you. They drain you. So one part of you wants to grow, but another part of you is terrified about the growth it will bring. So on the surface, you could be asking for expansion, but energetically, you could be sending a sign saying, I don't really want this. Limiting beliefs typically tie back to feelings of not deserving something. Or for example, a competing belief happens when a part of you wants something, but another part of you is pushing that away. And that happens as well in relationships. Maybe you are successful in your career, health-wise, but when it comes down to relationships, you can't seem to manifest love. Why? Because a part of you does not want a relationship. You crave love, the connection, the companionship, but there's another part of you that's scared. Maybe you secretly love your independence. Maybe you don't want to share your space, or you're afraid of losing your freedom, or even your body to motherhood. You might associate with being in a relationship with feeling limited. And so what happens is when you are on a date with someone that is at the very top of your potential, but by the third or fourth date, you start nitpicking at it, looking for red flags, finding a reason why they are not the one. And that is you subconsciously sabotaging, which is a competing belief that is at work. So if there's an area of your life that you feel stuck, you want to ask yourself, do I have a limited belief about what I deserve? Or do I have a competing belief that's keeping one foot out the door and one inside? Because if you do have one foot out and one foot in, you can't close the door. I also wanted to mention guilt and shame and about embracing your authenticity. So guilt and shame are two of the heaviest weights that we can carry, and they lower your vibration far more than any other mistake you could ever make. We all mess up. Maybe you said something in a moment or frustration to your partner and it hurt them. That mistake, that single moment, carries a little negative energy. But what weighs you down more than anything is the guilt and the shame that you feel and continue to hold on to afterwards. See, the mistake was a moment in time. The guilt, that's a constant drip of negative energy. It's like a hole in a pipe, and moment after moment, and the longer that you carry it, the more it will drain you. The real test isn't the mistake itself, it's in how long you will allow the guilt and shame to linger afterwards. So for me, the biggest shift came when I took the pressure off myself to appear perfect, to always show up as the smart one. I let myself be human, and then the freedom that brought me was unbelievable. But I'm not gonna lie, it rattled people, and they were so confused. They were so used to that version of me. Suddenly I was showing up as someone different, the more real, more raw, more me. And you know what? That's the version of me that I'm building my life on now. A foundation that's authentic, solid, and honest. There was a time in my life where I desperately seek for other people's approval. So I'm intuitive, so I know exactly how to make other people comfortable. I know which buttons to press and I know which ones to avoid. I know how to talk to someone in a way that makes them feel safe and seen. But for a long time, I was sacrificing my truth to do it. I was overextending myself, losing parts of who I was, just to avoid making others uncomfortable. Now I'm learning to show up as myself, fully and authentically. Still loving, still giving, but without betraying myself in the process. And yes, it does make people uncomfortable, but it's honest. And that honesty has created deeper, more meaningful connections, even if it shakes things up at first. This lesson keeps showing up with my parents, friends, so I'm no longer performing. I'm just being me. And that is where the real freedom lives. And then there's also this belief out there that success requires suffering, that we have to grind ourselves to the ground to earn the life that we want. And while yes, consistent effort is part of the process, the truth is 99% of your reality comes down to your belief system. If you believe that success has to be painful, you'll create that reality for yourself. You'll succeed, but it'll only be after you struggled and suffered, because that's the story that you are telling yourself. Like if you look at the people like Elon Musk, Albert Einstein, they had the same 24 hours as the rest of us. But someone like Elon Musk believes he can colonize Mars, and it's doable, as you and I can make scrambled eggs. And that belief creates a consciousness that calls in the right people, the right ideas. And sure, there's challenges, but people like Elon Musk and Albert Einstein embrace them so fully that even the hard things seem so easy. And on the other hand, if you think something is impossible, the universe will rise to meet that expectation. It will orchestrate a whole novella for you where everything feels impossible, even when it comes down to dating. And when I hear people say it's so hard to date in this area, it's a limiting belief, because it's easier to tell yourself that than to face the deeper truth, which is you are not in alignment with the love that you want. If you keep saying it's hard to date or it's hard to find someone in this area, then your singleness isn't your fault. It's just how it is. But the truth, if you're ready for your soulmate, they will find you. Whether you're in LA or New York or back home in your hometown. There are millions of people out there, and you only need one. And when your energy, your belief system, and your consciousness are aligned, you'll be guided. You'll know where to go. You'll feel inspired to try something new, to show up differently. You may even pick up your bags and go to a new location. And transformation starts within. When you evolve, your world does too. And at every level of growth, you will be tested. And the test is simple. You will react or you will rise. So reactive behavior is any thought, word, or action that comes from fear or lack. It's the impulse to grab for instant gratification, to act on insecurity, or to reach for something that soothes your ego, but drains your soul. The problem with reactive energy is that it gives you something temporarily, but you will lose it just as fast because it wasn't earned from your highest self. It doesn't even stick. So right before you reach that next level of your life, whether that's love, success, or any other breakthrough, you will be tempted. You'll be faced with something that triggers your fear, your lack, or your desperation. Maybe it's a relationship that you know isn't right for you, but it feeds your loneliness. I've been there. Or a business deal that looks shiny on the outside, but it doesn't align with your values. So saying yes to those things clogs your vessel. It signals to the universe that you're not actually ready for more, that you're still operating from lack. But when you say no, when you hold that line and resist in temptation, something powerful happens. You expand. Your capacity for receiving grows. That's when the real thing, the soulmate, the opportunity, the next level flows in. So it's almost like the universe is testing your vessel. Will you settle for crumbs? Or are you ready to hold a feast? And you'll see this everywhere. In relationships, in business, in competitions. First comes the test. Then if you pass, you'll get the prize. And another layer to add to this is to shift from taking to giving. Everything that you do must come from a consciousness of giving, not taking. Let's say you're running your business. Why do so many people fear it? So if you're scared of failing in your business, it's because you're trying to take something from the customer. You want their approval. You want their order. You want the sales, their praise, the validation of your brand. That's where fear comes from. When we're focused on taking, we get fear, scared. But imagine just showing up and running your business, and your only job is to give. Imagine yourself saying, everyone here gets this product for free today. No nerves, no fear. Why? Because you're giving. And when you're giving, you step into your divine nature. You become one with the universe, godlike. And in that space, there's no fear. So even myself, anytime I feel nervous or scared, I check in with myself. What am I trying to take? What's the approval? What's the validation? Attention? And then I shift. I remind myself I'm here to give. When I move from that place, the fear dissolves. So do the work so you can let that go. But here's the part that most people miss. You can't give what you don't have. If you don't believe in your product, your service, or your message, if you deep down haven't done the work, you'll always feel anxious. You'll always feel like you're taking, even if you're trying to give. The shift will happen when the real work begins. So when a desire is planted, you want to write it out and read it to yourself. Why? Because it's no longer something that you just wrote, that you just scripted. It's in your bones. It's in your soul. You become it. You become free. You're channeling it. You're moving from pure energy. And that's the secret. You put in the work beforehand. You master your craft. But when it's time to show up, you're not overthinking it. You're not blocking yourself. You're flowing. You're in service. When we overthink about our business or in life, it's because we're still making it about us. What should I say? How will I look? But when you show up ready to give, we get out of the way and let something higher move through us. And that's where the magic happens. Your body, mind, soul are incredibly responsive. They're more compliant than we realize. And if you repeat something like an affirmation over and over, even if you feel like you're faking it at first, your whole being will eventually align with that energy. It's simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. When you constantly speak something into existence, you shift your vibration. Your actions begin to match that vibration. And in return, those actions reinforce that belief. It becomes a cycle, one that elevates you higher and higher. So what I do daily is I ask myself, what is the highest vibration I need to reach right now? Then I take a look at where I am currently and where I need to be. And I focus on closing the gap. I keep hitting that point, repeating it, embodying it again and again until my mind, body, and soul and energy comply. And guess what? They always do. So when you're on those days where you're feeling low, depressed, depleted, or just off, that's when you need to do the next thing. And that is finding people who are already living the level that you are trying to get to, that you want to reach. Spend time around them, support them, add value to their lives. Because there's a universal law here. When you serve others in a way that truly makes their life better, you naturally draw from their energy, their wisdom, and their vibration. And that's the exchange, one that benefits both of you. When I connect with someone who's already achieved something that I'm working towards, I'm not trying to take anything from them. What I'm receiving is their consciousness, their vibration, their wisdom, things that don't diminish when they're shared. In fact, when someone teaches or uplifts others, their own energy expands. As they give more, they receive more. The universe replenishes them. This is why growing your community or your audience matters. Not for your ego, not for metrics or fame, but because as more people are drawn to your wisdom, you become a vessel through which more wisdom will flow. The universe, God, the divine, whatever you want to call it, bestows more insights, energy, and understanding upon you because your audience needs more through you. You are expanded to meet that need. So when I see people who want to expand their social media and audience purely to monetize or become famous, you're already missing the point. The true intention should be of service. How can I serve my audience on a deeper level? How can I be of greater value? And when you focus on that, everything opens up. Your business, your energy, the opportunities. And it doesn't matter how long you've been on this path, whether it's spirituality, personal growth, or business, each new challenge that you face is perfectly matched to where you are right now. Every opponent, every obstacle is designed to push you to the next level. And the reason why the next level feels uncomfortable isn't because it's wrong, it's because it's new, it's unfamiliar. So of course you can't fully see it yet. Of course it feels uncertain, maybe even dark. That's how growth works. So trust the process. Keep speaking life into yourself. Keep serving others and watch as you rise. And with that, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you found it valuable. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you most and what you're planning to implement. I love going through the comments. Also, if you have any video suggestions or to expand on these topics, drop them down below. Don't forget to check out the links that are linked in the description box. You'll find my collection of closed videos where I talk more of all the things regarding subconscious reprogramming, living your vision board today, manifesting, meditating, and more in my programs. Available individually or as a bundle for the ultimate level up. These programs are designed to guide you step by step, making your transformation effortless and enjoyable. You can listen to them on your commute to work or set time aside and romanticize the process and truly step into your best self. You can also sign up for my free weekly journal and affirmations prompts that are sent directly via email and discover so many other resources that I have linked down below to help you level up in 2025. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'll see you next week, same time for a brand new video. Bye!